when you're alone, it makes you strong because you develop not needing anyone. And the only way you gonna have power in any relationship is when you're not scared to be alone. As long as you're dependent on somebody else for emotional support, as long as you're scared to be alone, that person can play on that fear. You'll put up with things you don't want to put up with. You'll deal with treatment that you shouldn't deal with because you can't be alone. So the longer you could be alone and be okay with being alone and love being alone, you're always going to a relationship in a place of strength because you don't need them, you just want them. So the moment they don't treat you the way you feel like you deserve to be treated, it'll be easy for you to walk away and you can't be manipulated. Anytime you're dependent on somebody for something like companionship and not being alone, you're in a position where they can manipulate you.
You don't start things and not finish them. You don't quit. There's nothing that comes out of quitting besides knowing that you didn't finish. We finish everything. You start it, finish it. If you're gonna do it to try and be the best.
Let me be very clear. I'll never give up. Never.
The life you want is on the other side of a few hard conversations, and you're living a life you hate because you're too afraid to have them.
And every day, the same answer came back to me. Do you want to be on your deathbed knowing that you could, but you didn't? So why do you care about what people are thinking when they're not trying to go where the you're trying to go? It's you. So you better figure out who the you are. And those few people many people don't like you, so be it. But you first have to figure out you, because a lot of people die with a lot of untapped potential because they're trying to be somebody that they're not. Yeah. So I was able to figure out my own potential by figuring out me.
Your problem is not technology. The problem is you. You lack the will to change.
So it was only when your world was threatened with destruction that you became what you are now. You say we're on the brink of destruction, and you're right. But it's only on the brink that people find the will to change. Only at the precipice do we evolve.
I'm with you. But in the back of my mind, all I'm thinking about is all the times I could have won those matches that I lost by not bringing my best mindset. You're haunted by all the opportunities that you missed by not bringing your best at that time. When you could have won, but you didn't win because you allowed life to interfere with that one shot.
For anyone who needs a reminder, no one is going to hate on you for doing worse than them.
How you gain mental toughness, how you become the person you want to be, is constantly facing the things that you don't want to face.
It's all about focus. I don't care who you are, where you're from, doesn't matter. It's having a focus and having a purpose. Right? You wake up every single day to get better today than you were yesterday. And it doesn't matter what you are. You're a basketball player, a hockey player, golf player, painter, right? It doesn't matter. Right? You try to reach your full potential by getting better every single day.
Admit it, you aren't like them. You're not even close. You may occasionally dress yourself up as one of them, watch the same mindless television shows as they do, maybe even eat the same fast food sometimes. But it seems that the more you try to fit in, the more you feel like an outsider.
Let those challenges raise you up. Let them elevate you. Let their demands and their trials make you stronger. Let the adversity you face today turn you into a better person tomorrow.
The pain of discipline or the pain of regret. Go for the discipline because it weighs ounces. The regret weighs tons because it can accumulate.
You can do two things. You can run and hide, curl up in a ball, and let the world just beat you to death, or you can dig your heels in. You figure out how to, you have to figure out yourself, and then you dig in and you fight. I literally, the day we got back from Mexico, I had a quote installed on my wall. It says, "May God have mercy upon my enemies, because I won't." So let's go.
There was no escape. There was no one who was going to come to save me. And I couldn't blame my dad. I couldn't blame my mom. I was the one who had chosen this life. But the alternative was that I had to go back to my father, a failure.
The quote and the phrase that I'm using is lock the in. I'm talking to you. Lock the in. We don't have time for any of the bullshit.
Whenever I get to a low point where I think, why do I even bother? I just remind myself, this is where most people stop, and this is why they don't win.
I'm not going to rest. I'm going to keep on pushing now. There are a lot of answers that I don't have, even questions that I don't have. But I'm just going to keep going. I'm just going to keep going, and I'll figure these things out as we go, right? And you just continue to build that way. So that, I try to live by that all the time.
Life is going to be rough. It's supposed to be painful, but that's how you grow. It's going to take time, but what's on the other side, it's always worth it.
Yeah, I do whatever I want to do, right? I just be me, right? I live my life and I just be me as the example to other people that didn't know they could live like this. You know, I just be me. And just by me being me in front of other people allows other people to be able to be themselves. They didn't know they could talk like this. They didn't know they could act like this. They didn't know they can be themselves and still have some money. They didn't know they could be themselves and still have women. They didn't know they could speak their mind and be free and still have the things they wanted to. See, me just living in front of people allows them to talk the way they want to talk. I'm not the only one who thinks these thoughts. Society has beaten you down to not feel okay to be yourself. And you know what happens? You fake long enough, you'll forget how to be real. And most of you forgot how to be real. Most of you couldn't raise your voice if you wanted to. Most of you couldn't tell that broad what you really felt about it, even if you wanted to. Because if you walk on eggshells long enough, you're going to lose your voice. And most of y'all done lost your voice. So just by me being myself, raw, uncut, uncaring, it allows that little piece inside of you, that little man inside of you that you done repressed your whole life because of society, because your mama, because the women, because of what you're watching on TV. It allows that little piece inside of you to say, you know what, let me assert myself again. So that's what I do. I just be myself, the man that I am, the man that's inside of everybody. I just be real. And it allows everybody else to realize how much they faking and become real themselves. And you know, I'm doing God's work out here. That's what I do. I do coaching. I give men advice. I give women advice. I show people the things that it took me to get to where I wanted to be. You know, I went through ups and downs. I went through trials and tribulations. I've been broke. I've been rich. I've been broke again, rich again. You know, so I just tell my story. I just be me. I get paid to be me. It's a beautiful thing. Next question.
Damn it. With the time that I have left in my life, I really want to start to enjoy myself. I want to take better care of myself. I want to feel happy. You don't even have to believe you deserve it yet. You can just want it. You've got to start there. You've got to start with wanting something better for yourself. And then I personally think the most important thing is to start acting like the person who has the things that you want right now, even though you don't feel like it.
The one mentality that you must have in life is that regardless of what's in front of you, you still must grind. I'll never be in the Olympics. I'll never be a professional athlete, but still I grind. I fail at most things I do, but still I grind. I don't want to do half the shit I do, but still I grind. We are all being tested in life. While my test is different than yours, you will be tested. And how you face that test and how you overcome that test determines the rest of your life. The one mentality that you must have in life is that regardless of what's in front of you, you still must grind.
Most people never pick up the phone and call. Most people never ask. And that's what separates sometimes the people that do things from the people that just dream about them. You gotta act. And you've got to be willing to fail. You've got to be willing to crash and burn. You know, with people on the phone, with starting a company, with whatever. If you're afraid of failing, you won't get very far.
A reminder for the gladiators in the arena who feel beat up and scarred with no hope in sight. Building a business is hard. Hard feels shit. This is what hard feels like. And this is why most people can't do it. But you can. This is what hard feels like.
I mean, you just don't know how to give up.
No, I do. Trust me, I do. I know exactly how to give up. You know what scares the out of me, Kev? Is that it's easy.
I'm a warrior. I go to
the most stressful situations in my life made me everything that I wanted to be. all the things I would have never chose to go through gave me and made me everything I wanted to be. You know, and I would say it wasn't really having a child, it was having a baby mother who was stressed me out a lot, right? But pressure makes diamonds. Having to go through that, having to navigate those type of emotions, having to navigate somebody who, you know, has power over you and is using that power in a negative way, being in a situation that I wasn't fully in control of, forced me to develop certain ways of thinking, forced me to develop certain ways to control my emotions, forced me to get creative, forced me to have game, to win a situation where I wasn't the one with the power. And, you know, it grew me. You know, having a son, that also makes you have to grow up. It makes you more responsible. Going to jail, you know, it helped me realize how valuable my freedom was, you know, and how I was throwing it away for nothing, you know, and that really changed my life there, because it was the first time I ever read a book. And after I read my first book, you know, I was off to the races, and I realized how much game was in books. And if I never went to jail, I would have never sat down long enough to read one. So the hardest situations you go through, man, will probably make you what you want to be if you use it. There's the seed of an equal or greater opportunity in every negative situation if you take the time to find the seed of it. Most of y'all just gonna sit and complain though.
How impatient somebody is, and like 99% of any cool shit that anybody does ever usually takes a lot of preparation and practice and just repetitive action to get good at.
It is astounding how many people want to be spectacular in life but also want to fit in and be normal. Like, by being normal, you are, by definition, aiming for average. Normal people get normal results. Weird people get weird results. You literally can't do what everyone else does and not expect to get what everyone else has. By doing what everyone else does, you guarantee average results.
The only thing you have, which is you.
Affirmations, subliminals, reading and writing my goals, having a war map, which means knowing exactly what I'm looking for, dream building, watching things on TV of what I aspire to have, listening to the music that inspires me and is talking about having more and doing more and coming up. You know, essentially I would just brainwash myself to be and feel in the space of already having it. And I've done this many times. So every time I fell off, I know I'm going back to the basics. It's all about my mindset. I have to feel on that high frequency state as if I'm already where I want to be, as if it's already happening. So then where I was at didn't even really matter, because I believed it so much in that moment that I was somewhere else. Eventually reality just caught up to how I was feeling. So I understand. I started to see the correlation between my thoughts, my feelings, and my reality really young. If I was in a negative state a lot, if I was doing negative things, if I was feeling mad all the time, if I was watching all the wrong things, I would see my life would started to become a reflection of that. And then when I would switch it up and do all the right things, watch all the right things, stop watching the bad things, start listening to the right things, I would see my life would be a reflection of that. So once I started noticing that correlation, I started playing games with myself to see, okay, what if I cut out all the bad music, all the bad TV shows? What if I only start listening to good music? What if I only start listening to things that inspire me? What if I only start watching things on TV? What if I only start listening to these subliminals? What if I only start watching multi-millionaire things on YouTube every day? And I would literally do these thought experiments with myself, and over weeks of doing it in the positive, miracles would seemingly happen. I would get phone calls for opportunities, money would fall in my lap, and things would start to correlate. So I always go back to that now. Like, if I'm ever in a space that I don't want to be in, or if I ever feel like, well, I really need to get it together, I just curate my environment for nothing but positivity, putting myself in a place where I'm always feeling good. I'm always having some good music on. I'm always watching positive things on TV. I'm only having good conversations. I'm only dreaming, doing a dream book about all the things that I want, listening to the right music and things like that. But come on, let's go to the next question.
Failure is not fatal. It's the courage to continue that counts.
So it's like if you were playing a video game and the way to win the game was to make the most successful character, right? You would have probably a really character-driven human being in terms of like they'd be patient, you know, they'd be hardworking. Like you think about all these traits that they would have, right? They'd probably be tough emotionally, like etc. All right, cool. That's the character, and that's the person who's going to be really successful. We can all probably agree on that. Okay, how do you create someone who's patient? How do you create someone who's tough? So all of a sudden, if we had to then engineer the game in order to boost those points, we'd have to get them beat up a lot so that they could get tough. We'd have to make them wait a long time so they could become patient. That's right. And so to the point that you made about like these people who become really successful.
Have you even done the proper vetting to see if she likes you enough and is cooperative enough to even be a woman that you want in your household? Listen, it's a privilege to be in your household. Every woman who look good can't just be there. She has to jump through some hoops. You coming into my sphere, you coming into my kingdom. And the wrong energy, the wrong woman will bring and tear everything you got going on down. So it's not what your country, I say like this, it's not what the people can do for your country can do for you. It's what you can do for your country. That's what you got to tell the broad. It's not what I can do for you. It's not what your country can do for you. It's what you can do for your country. And that's how you got to think about it. Are you worthy of even coming into my household? You need to have a woman feeling like she wants to be a part of what you got going on. Not like, oh, let me convince her to get down with me. If you got to convince her to get down with you, man, you're starting off on the wrong foot. The woman should see how you living with your woman, what you doing, everything you got going on, and be like, damn, I want to be a part of that. Man, look how he bossed this chick up. Look at the things that they do and the places that they're going. I want to be a part of that. Then you start to put them seeds in her head. When she starts to want to come around more, then you start letting her know what it's going to be required of her to come and get down with you. Because if it ain't no requirements, easy come, easy go. She going to come in and she going to leave.
You can write everything down if you want to. Be brave enough to write every one of your goals down. But I'm going to tell you something. Life's going to hit you in your mouth, and you got to do me a huge favor. Your why has to be greater than that knockdown. And I love it. Buster Douglas got knocked out. Nobody ever got knocked out by Mike Tyson and ever got back up. It was almost a 10 count. He was stumbling. They were 4, 3, 2, 1. And ding, ding, ding. Saved by the bell. He goes to his corner. The whole world is like, yep, that's it. Once he comes back out, that's it. Mike's gonna just hammer him. And exactly that. Mike Tyson came out like, I got him. I got this kid up against the rope. Listen to me, many of you right now, life's got you up against the rope. You can't give up. You can't give in. Listen to me, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And if life's got you backed up, I need you to do what Buster Douglas did. Buster Douglas started fighting back. The world was shocked. Goliath has been knocked down. What happened? And they went to Buster Douglas and they asked Buster Douglas simply like, what happened? And Buster Douglas said, listen to me, it's real simple. Before my mother died, she told the whole world that I was going to beat Mike Tyson. And 2 days before the fight, my mother died. Buster Douglas had a decision to make. When his mother died, he could die with his mother, or he made a decision, I can wake up and I can live for mom. Your why is gonna push you when you can't push yourself. Because some days you're gonna say, I don't wanna get up. But that why is gonna say, I'll push yourself. Get up. Your mama needs you. Your daddy needs you. Your children need you. Get up. When you wanna quit and give up, your why is gonna give you that lift that you need to get to the next level. Your why. And when that thing tells you to quit, you look at it in his eye and say, I ain't going nowhere. I will break you before you break me. You've been through so much hell. You don't quit now. It's the 10th round. You got 2 more to go. And when you get to success, it's not about skill. When you get to a certain level of success, it's about stamina. It's about you won't break me. You can't take me. I fought too long. I fought too hard. I'm unbreakable now.
Everybody can stand up and do good when everything is all good. Everybody can smile when the sun shines. Everybody can do right when everything is going right. Everybody can do that. But everybody can't face opposition, adversity, and challenges and say, I've been waiting on you to come. I'm going to embrace you, and I'm going to figure out a way to use you because you will never turn me into a different person. You will never make me a person that people don't recognize before the adversity. When life knocks your butt down, I need you to get back up and I need you to go heavy on it. When uncertainty creeps in, I need you to get up and get right back on the thing that knocked you off, and I need you to go heavy on it. When something doesn't turn out the way you want it to turn out, I need you to attack the very thing that didn't turn out the way that you wanted it to turn out, and I need you to go heavy on it. It's never about the competitors. It's about what we possess and what we do.
Learn to be your own booster.
Start building yourself up. Start encouraging yourself. Start saying, I can do this. I can make this happen. When I start trying to convince myself I can be a businessman after flopping and failing and losing thousands of dollars and feeling stupid and dumb, I had to talk to myself because people were saying to me that I was dumb. I had to say, no, Les. Hey, come on, man, get yourself together. You can handle this, you just haven't figured it out yet. It's all right, this is your training period. This is the tuition you have to pay for what you don't know. You got to say yes.